John, you just upgraded Facebook and raised your price target. Explain what factors went into that.
Well, it's largely about improving business trends across the country, even during these really challenging times. And the product announcement this week, Shops, I think, is one of the most interesting efforts that companies had in local commerce through the last few years of launching a number of products. And so I think bringing local brick and mortar retailers into e-commerce is something that a lot of the other platforms haven't really focused on as much. For Facebook, your Instagram page, your Facebook profile is almost more popular than your website. In many cases, it probably is. So I think it's a great way to bring forward e-commerce for these types of companies at a time when they need it more than ever.
And remind me, so if we're trading around 232 today, you think their valuation could be?
Our target price is $260.
Okay, so yeah, $30 of upside from here, at least for the near term. Laura, I mean, John makes a great point about the popularity of businesses using Facebook and Instagram as basically their new landing pages and now having new tools. Is Facebook taking market share from other players in this regard?
I think that what's building on what Julia mentioned, I think what's important about these pivots we've seen is that they're increasingly trying to create barriers to entry around that small business long tail that they're so good at by offering more utilities. So I really like the fact that from a Facebook valuation point of view, so I'm talking about money, I really like the fact they're integrating Messenger, Instagram, and Facebook more tightly. I really like all the new video stuff they've been announcing in the last 6 weeks. And I really like the fact they're basically creating a feedback loop for enterprise, meaning these small businesses, with advertising. Because the only company right now that has the pure feedback loop is Amazon, who's built a $14 billion business last year from nothing in several years, because they can tell an advertiser, look, you advertised on Tuesday and the customer bought the product on Wednesday. They are the only company that can do that. Facebook is about to do that. That's what's important about what they announced with Shops.
Yeah.
That when a small business advertises, they can tell them whether the advertising worked and they bought a product.
So in talking about the valuation, as you mentioned, John has a $270 price target. Laura, I mean, how much do you think this increases Facebook's ability to make money and continue to grow in the coming years, especially after a lot of the debate lately has been about how much of its future growth has been accelerated into the past couple of months and how much still remains on the table?
Right. So we've been wrong on the stock, but it's an ecosystem, which is what Facebook has, is the traffic they have, and they've got tons right now, thanks to COVID, times the amount of money customers spent. So every time you see them announce something, the reason stock's hitting all-time highs is because every time they announce something that might bring more revenue from that traffic of consumers, the more valuable it is. Everything they're doing here adds value to the top line, and the work from home stuff lowers their employee acquisition costs and lowers their real estate costs. So on both fronts, they're working on profit margins and revenue growth.